is Lottie, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with Lauren, the Intern Queen.
Hi,
Do you want to introduce
guys.
yourself?
Yeah, I'm Lauren. I run the Intern Queen, everything in the Intern Queen YouTube, and I give advice to high school and college students about how to get from where they are to where they want to be.
Yeah, I love Lauren's videos. When I was going to be an intern my first year, right after freshman year, I was like binge watching your videos, getting ready for my interview. I had my notebook and I was like writing down like my strengths and weaknesses for my interview and like going through and like writing out all these different tips.
Yeah, and this is my new book. Get it together.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
So it's more like time management.
Time management is so key and like definitely a skill you have to like practice, I feel like. So I'll link all Lauren's stuff down below, so y'all should definitely check her out. And I'll link her book and everything. Today we're doing a little like Q&A, just like chat about internships and like questions you guys have and questions I've seen you guys comment about. And I also just posted an Instagram story, so definitely follow me on Instagram if you're not already. I'm just at Lottie Smalley. But I just posted a story asking for you guys to ask us questions for this video. I'm gonna take some of your guys' questions. We're just gonna kind of talk about internships and all that good stuff. I know you guys love these videos, so I'm really excited to have Lauren with me today. How to stand out as an intern?
Sure, so a lot of people I think they're really concerned about obviously how to stand out. I think it's more about connecting yourself to the position, right? A lot of times I get a resume in and a cover letter and it's great, but it's like about this person, it's not about the position and what I'm hiring for. So I would focus less on that you have to be this like standout amazing candidate. You have to be the right candidate for the position. So spend a lot of time looking at that internship or job description and then looking at your resume and saying, okay, how can I do a better job of creating the dots so that when they look at this resume, you know, people spend 10 seconds looking at your resume, they're like, oh, I get it. Like this person would be a fit because of this.
Something I try to do with that is like in my objective on my resume, I'll like tailor it to the position I'm applying for.
Yes, exactly.
So that it looks like I'm a really good fit.
Right. If you're gonna send a cover letter, send a customized cover letter. And like Lottie said, tailor it for the position. Otherwise, you're just wasting people's time by sending them a letter that was written for, you're sending them a letter that was written for like 300 other people. It doesn't make sense. So scrap that and really customize and tailor those materials.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. How to apply for an internship for a company you really want to work for but doesn't necessarily have an internship program.
I think it's all about just picking up the phone and asking, right? It's about calling that company, finding the phone number and saying, I didn't see anything about your internship program online. I wanted to see if you have a program because sometimes they have one, it's just not online. And if they say, no, we don't have one, can I be your first? You know, I'd love to come in and learn from you. You know, would you take a meeting with me? And if it's not an internship, maybe it's a one-day job shadow, maybe it's an informational interview, but just trying to like find the opportunity within every situation. And don't be bummed if there's no internship program. Like that's not about you, that's about the company structure. Find what the opportunity is and like milk it. Okay, another one. How do you follow up after you've applied without being annoying? Right, without being annoying. So I think everyone has this notion about being annoying and I get where it comes from, but I really think that as long as we're all polite and consistent, then like throw that notion out the window. You're not annoying. Like you advocate you. No one else is gonna advocate for yourself. You have to follow up. You are doing yourself such a disservice if you don't follow up. A, confirm receipt, right? You wanna make sure they got the stuff you sent them. What if it goes to spam or something and you don't check? And B, like, is there anything else that you can send them? And just reiterating your interest in the position, I think is so important. And follow the directions. If they say they're gonna get back to you in 2 weeks, then I would start your follow-up process after the deadline. Unless you wanna throw in, I just wanted to confirm you got my materials. That would be okay. A lot of my friends will ask me stuff like this too. If I were on the other end and I like forgot to respond to something and someone followed up with me, I always appreciate it. Yeah, it's like a little fresh reminder. Again, we live in an email heavy world and you can't get back to everybody. It's not possible. So a little follow-up reminder is great. Agreed.
A lot of people are asking about like budgeting, like how do you recommend doing a city internship for like less expensive? How do you do it on a budget? Like NYC is expensive, obviously. And also another question people are asking are just about like, and maybe we can like answer this together. But how to ask if the internship is paid or like how much you'll get paid in your interview and stuff. Yeah, those are great questions. Just like money questions. Totally. So actually I made a video, maybe I'll send it to you. I think like a year and a half ago maybe. And it's literally like how to budget for your New York City internship. No, I literally watched it. I think it's about like knowing the cost, right? It's easy to write off this New York City summer thing and be like, oh, it's too expensive, blah. But Lottie and I actually, something we have in common is we both did the NYU dorms, right? And had a really good experience. And I think it's about knowing the
cost. So do your homework, know what you're talking about, know what you have in savings and what you'd have to save up in order to get there. Once you get there, what other expenses do you have? I mean, the nice thing about New York is you don't need a car. So you're gonna...
Metro card.
Yeah, right. The Metro card. You're gonna need food. If you stay at a place like NYU, I remember one of my favorite parts is I got to use their gym, which was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so
and the laundry. Some of my friends were subleasing this summer from people or like doing like Airbnbs, so they would have to spend money to like go get their clothes cleaned because they didn't have a washer like in their unit or whatever.
Right. So yeah, I just think knowing the number, right, and knowing what you're talking about is so crucial. And then with that other question about asking if an internship is paid, first of all, it's okay to ask if an internship is paid or unpaid. I would do that in the first interview and just be prepared for whatever the answer is, right? Because if someone says it's not paid, you want to make sure like your face doesn't drop, you don't pout, you don't get angry and leave, because you never know. Maybe you leave a lasting impression and they go to the CFO of the company and they get a paid budget for you or something. So always be prepared and always ask. And if you can't get paid, maybe you can get like a travel stipend or lunches covered or something like that. But we both did it. We both figured it out. It's definitely doable. So see what you have saved now and then make a plan for what you need to save between now and when you go to New York. And remember, you're usually there for like 8 weeks. We're not talking about like moving there, a 6-month journey. So keep that in mind.
Another question that I was getting from a lot of you on some of my internship videos were just like resume and cover letter tips. So I wanted to kind of hear from Lauren about her tips for really standing out and making your resume and cover letter pop in this day and age.
Yeah, so I think on both the resume and the cover letter, 1 page each. Both documents should definitely be tailored. Don't waste people's time or your time. And then really talk about your campus experience. I think that's something that's a little bit underrated. People don't remember what it means to be VP of your sorority or the philanthropy chair for your organization. So make sure you really articulate what that is and then pick maybe 2 items and really highlight them in the cover letter. You know, the cover letter gives you this like unique opportunity to tell your story. So tell your story and bring everything back to the company that you're applying for.
I think those are really good tips. For me, I feel like with cover letters, it can be kind of hard to make each of them like really unique. Do you have any tips? Because I have the same kind of like body of my cover letter, you know, like explaining like an internship or like I'm the director of communications for student government, so kind of like talking about my experience, but then like tailoring it at the beginning and the end. Like, do you have any specific tips?
I think it's kind of like, let's say you were in charge of the Facebook page for your, I'll just use like a sorority example, right? And then you see on the job description that they're looking for someone to run the Facebook page. I really think it's just about connector sentences. I built our sorority Facebook page from this to this to this, and I know you're looking for an intern that works on your Facebook page. So because of my experience, I think I could excel at this part of the job. You know, so it's like connector sentences. So, cause like I keep saying this, like there could be all the, you could be the greatest person on the planet, but like if your experience doesn't correlate to what they're looking for, an employer doesn't get it because they're thinking job.
About the job, not the person.
Right, like they're thinking job and you're thinking you, and you gotta make those things connect. So I think that's my best piece of advice when you're like trying to figure out how to stand out and how to land that job.
And then last question is, which is more important, grades or connections when it comes to getting an internship?
So I think it's probably, I mean, it's both, right? And especially depending on your major and what field you're going into. If you're going into communications and PR, they're probably not gonna ask for your grades again, right? So you could argue connections.
One of my favorite phrases that I heard like in the PR industry is, it's not about the grades you make, but about the hands you shake.
I like that. That's
so
really good.
I feel like for me, for PR, for communications, and also probably like business marketing, just like any kind of like entrepreneurship also, obviously, is definitely really about like networking and connecting with others. But obviously like education and your grades can't go understated either. So I think just do your best in school. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just like do the best work that you can. But at the same time, following up with people and reaching out is so important.
Is key, and just like I always say, like,
just as important.
Relationships are like plants. Like you need to water them, right? You can't just leave them outside and then like 10 years later come back and be like, hey plant, right? Like you really have to water those plants on an ongoing basis, and you have to nurture those professional connections because you know at some point you're gonna need a favor, and you don't want it to be awkward, right? You just want to be able to ask, and because you built such a strong relationship, this person is probably going to help you. So
network networking is so important, but obviously grades are too, so I feel like they're pretty even.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's gonna be it for this Q&A with Lauren. Thank you so much for being on my channel.
Thank
It was so much fun. Like I said, I'll have all of her social media, YouTube, her book, that video about budgeting in NYC. I'll have all of it linked down below, so definitely check her out. I love Lauren's videos. I literally binge watch them before like I do interviews. They're just so helpful and such a good resource, so I'll definitely leave it all down below. And also follow me if you're not already on social media. I'm just at Lottie Smalley on everything, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, so just add me on all of those. I would love to connect with you outside of YouTube. That'll be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
Bye!